As Nicole was saying, Mark also there on the campus as well. He is on the opposite side of where Jason was. So Marvin, if you can set the scene from where you are the protesters there? Does it seem like it's growing in size, the crowds?
It seems like it is. There are some people who come in and some people who are stepping away, but I can tell you I have a person who's been here from the very beginning. This is Fatima, and Fatima is the Vice President for Students for Justice in Palestine. We met her at the sit-in at the administration building. And Fatima, you've been here since 4:30 this morning.
Yes, we've been here since 4:30, setting up our encampment. It was a peaceful demonstration to call for administration once again to divest from 5 weapon manufacturing companies that are enabling the genocide that's currently going on in Gaza.
So what was your reaction when you all, because I was following your post on Instagram, and you all were aware of the police presence, the law enforcement presence that was coming here. When they arrived, what happened?
Yeah, so obviously we've been seeing what's going on at UT Austin, and what's going on across the nation with pro-Palestinian students. They've been met with absolutely insane, repression from police. Right now in Texas, from state troopers for peacefully protesting to an end of their university's complicity in a genocide. Over 34,000 people have been murdered in Gaza, and our university is complicit in it, and we're out here peacefully demonstrating to an end to this complicity of our university, and we're met with police in riot gear, armed with guns, with snipers, with helicopters around us. It's absolutely insane.
Did you ever think that it would reach this point?
Honestly, no, we never thought us protesting to an end of our university's complicity in a genocide would ever meet with this type of repression. Again, our university administration have said that they're going to protect their students, and it's just hypocritical for them to allow these state troopers and allow this police to arrest the students here for practicing the First Amendment right of free speech. It's absolutely insane.
So Fatima, you all had your opportunity to meet with the Vice President on Friday. You handed him the letter and walked away. Why didn't you go in and meet with him? That's what you were sitting in for.
Yeah, so we were actually sitting in for our university to meet our demands to divest from the 5 weapon manufacturing companies. However, they went and told us that they're going to schedule a meeting with the president of UTD to talk about our demands. After then, they went and talked to, they spoke out to media and also scheduled a meeting with a Zionist organization on campus. And we believe that there is no two sides to a genocide, right? We are protesting again to end the genocide in Gaza and end our university's complicity in it. There should not be two sides. There's no two conversations to have here, right? It's clear what we stand for, and we stand for our university to divest from the 5 weapon manufacturing companies that enable the genocide. Right, so when we heard about our president scheduling this meeting, we were extremely disappointed, and we decided that this meeting is not worth our time or energy. We handed the president our letter with our demands, and we walked out. So yeah, we're back here again, once again demanding our university to end its complicity in the genocide.
So your encampment is completely torn down. What's next?
So again, we're not going to stop until our demands are met, until full liberation and return, until our university ends its complicity in the ongoing genocide in Gaza. This only fuels us to do more for the people of Gaza, because at the end of the day, they're the ones who are getting their houses torn down. Their kids are getting their limbs blown off by weapons that our university is investing in. So again, this does not stop our movement. This only ramps us up to do more until our university ends its complicity in the ongoing genocide.
I know this is very personal for you, and we talked about this before. Do you ever see an end to this? I know you're out here, you're involved in this months and months. I mean, it's in your DNA. Do you see an end?
Yeah, I think it's personal to all the students here. All the students here want our university to stop being complicit in the genocide of our people, right? This is just a basic a basic human instinct for us to want to end the genocide that our university, our institution is complicit in, right? So again, this is personal to all the students here. We all want an end to this, and we do believe that this is going to end, and Palestine is going to be free from the river to the sea.
You're free. Are you willing to go to jail? What happens to those who went to jail?
Again, we have the people who went to jail. They were arrested by state troopers, by police here for peacefully protesting. If it means us peacefully protesting to an end to a genocide, a lot of these students have, went to jail. These state troopers didn't give the students a chance to peacefully protest. It was just a few hours into our encampment, and they just attacked us. They completely destroyed our encampment, took all the belongings of the students that were there with no warning.
So this is one of the hearts of the organization here, and one of the main people who is behind this. You heard everything. I believe you laid it all out on the table. Or is there something else?
No, just again, shame on UTD administration for allowing this to happen to their students. We were practicing our First Amendment right to free speech to an end our university's complicity in the genocide, and this is how we were met. So shame our administration for letting these state troopers arrest their students, and we'll be back here again until our demands are fully met.
All right, thanks a lot, Fatima. We will be out here with you covering it. So Nicole and Ken, the plan goes on. You heard her. They're going to be out here until their demands are met, and we'll just have to wait and see if those demands are ever met.
Yeah, that is their intention, and you're right, Marvin. We'll have to wait and see at that point. Marvin, we're going to visit with you in a bit, so just stand by. But right now, we do want to let you know, first and foremost, that the CBS Evening News, it is being broadcast over on TXA 21 as we continue to cover the situation happening at UT Dallas.
You'll also be able to watch Jeopardy over there as well. Jason, we just heard from a passionate student leader on campus, pro-Palestine student named Fatima, kind of at the heart of the organization, organizing all of this today. She says they're not going to stop. She actually says this is going to fuel their mission to be heard. I'm curious about where you are on campus and how people near you might be feeling right now.
Yeah, I would say that she's probably accurate, that we won't see this stop in the next week or two, maybe at least as long as school is in session, right? This kind of raises people's fervor. You can hear and see the people back here who did not get arrested. They have remained and set up their own demonstration. I do want to counter, as I was thinking, as I was listening to her talk to Marvin, and maybe even correct some of my own reporting a little bit in saying that there was no warning. There was a 10 or 15 minute warning when the people here were told they wouldn't be allowed to have structures, but this is part of the UT system, and there was very clearly a warning at least twice in the last week or so what UT's intent was as far as allowing a structure like this or an encampment to stand. In fact, that was one of our big questions to the university all day. Has there been some communication? Is this going to be allowed to stand? Or is this going to be similar to what we saw down in Austin? And we know what we saw happen twice down there when there were attempts to make encampments was absolutely the same thing that they were going to do here, that once there was a camp set up, that the school was not going to allow it to stand. So there was a bit of a warning in that session. But to your other point, Nicole, people here are not showing any signs of leaving. Again, there could be a dispersal order that is coming at some point from law enforcement here, but we have not heard that to this point.
And you did say maybe in the last 15 minutes when we spoke to you that law enforcement was kind of gathering around, maybe having a little meeting. Are they still over there chatting, or have they returned to enforcing the line around that encampment?
I think that Robert is going to try to push in and show you, and they are still gathered. There is the two pickup trucks right there. They're behind him. And if you go to your left, pan to your left, here comes some more. So this looks like state troopers.
Are they being
although
booed,
I can't
Jason?
see the actual badges. Yeah, they are being booed. They're walking through a crowd, a column of pro-Palestinian, anti-Israel protesters that are set up, and everybody that is coming in had to walk right through the middle of them.
Well, Jason,
and Robert's pointing out, I haven't Go ahead. Go ahead, Ken.
I'm just terribly sorry to interrupt you, but you and I were talking about this earlier about the pepper balls. I'm pretty sure some of those guns that you see there, I don't know if you can see them with the orange tips. It says less lethal. I'm wondering if this is the point now where we start hearing some demands or orders to disperse before pepper balls start being used here as a tool.
Yeah, you're seeing that correctly, and we noticed it right at the same time that you did. And I'm trying to listen in and see if this is protesters or it is still some of the demonstrators talking on a bullhorn. So There hasn't been any announcements from police to the crowd yet. We haven't heard that, but this is the first sign of maybe some additional efforts or tools to get the crowd to leave. So what we have seen in some of these past instances is there will first be a verbal command. There will be the expectation for people to move further back from where they are. And you asked me the question earlier, at what point would they use some of those tools? They would use them if people did not adhere to those verbal commands. So there was a little bit of a direction given there by one of the officers who appears to be leading the group for everybody to gather around. They've definitely created a secondary line here. They have parked all of those pickups in place. I don't think that they are actively picking up any more of the debris. So it's not clear if they're using some of those pickups as additional barriers or something to kind of, I don't know, guard the space. But this is definitely a kind of an uptick or a change here in what law enforcement are going to expect out of this situation.
Yeah, and you know, Jason, it's hard to know for sure. We're still waiting on UT Dallas to give us word of exactly what's going on and what's going to happen next. Hard to tell without getting official word from them, but words and pictures, you know, and what you see, they do also tell a story. And as you mentioned, this is the first time that we've seen those less than lethal, arms or long arms, if you want to call them, because it looks like a shotgun, except that it's sort of painted orange on the back end, on the stock side of it. The first time we've seen that, and so I'm wondering though if that is an indicator to everybody there on the ground, including you guys, the members of the media who are exposed to this, if this does result in a situation where pepper balls are fired, where tear gas is used, if that is in fact what is imminent. And we don't know for sure, but there are some signs that might be what's next.
I mean, we're moving into the almost 2-hour mark here, Jason, and you've been out there from the beginning, so it'll be interesting to see if there is any escalation, especially hearing from Fatima that they don't plan to be going anywhere anytime soon. And again, like Ken said, we have not heard from UT Dallas about plans or any orders to disperse or anything like that yet.
You know, I didn't hear that last question, I'm sorry, but there was an instruction to move, and I didn't hear that, but the photographer I'm with, Robert, was telling me there was an instruction for people to move back, and we're hearing some of the demonstrators kind of give their own instructions to their supporters to back off, not get in the way of police. And again, we've heard some of that throughout the day from them, right? Almost every hour on the hour, they were trying to tell people here, don't create a problem. Don't get in anyone's face. Don't engage. Don't vandalize. So they've tried to sort of maintain that decorum. Some of it fell apart when law enforcement initially moved in. There were some people who did not want to stand down, but we're hearing some of those same kind of commands now for people to back off and don't confront police.
Right. Yeah. Things are definitely heating up there. Jason, we're going to check in with Marvin now, so just stand by. And again, I'm just reiterating again, because in case you're watching, we do need to hear from UT Dallas. So we're going to put you on the spot here for a second. Please let us know what is happening there so we can get official word out to folks as we continue to report on this.
Yeah, I've been checking social media, hoping that someone would post something or some sort of update. Yeah. Nothing yet.
We're waiting.
And that is indicative probably of what's to come over the next few hours once we get that information. Let's check back in with Marvin. He's on the opposite side of campus from where you just saw Jason. Marvin, you had a very passionate student there just speaking with you not too long ago. I'm curious if you've been able to speak to anyone else, or has anyone else approached you about what they're hoping to see come from all of this?
Yeah, I'm standing here with Josh Galvez, and Josh is not a member of either side. No. He is simply a student, right? Yeah. A student who is witnessing all of this. Josh, what is your takeaway? Wait a minute, guys. We have something that's going on here. They're tearing down the wood there. So DPS making a move. They're moving forward. Students are moving back. We are just waiting to find out what's going on here. DPS making a move. Follow us. We're still on. DPS moving forward. So obviously there was some sort of order for them to move. No lie. Can you hear us, guys, or see us?
We can hear you, Marvin.
Yeah, we can hear you and we can see you.
We can see the commotion.
10-4. Looks like they got rid of that barrier.
So it looks like DPS, you know, they were in that semicircle. They were able to move up forward. They took down the signs and moving forward. So obviously this was the next step in them completing their plan here to clear out this encampment. This area here was filled with students, and that's where they have the wooden signs there. All of that's gone. Right before that, just before we were getting ready to go on air, I heard a student asking some of the other students to move to the other side of what is called Chess Plaza. So they had moved to the other side, and then all of a sudden when we were getting ready to talk to Joshua Galvez, that's when we saw all of the movement happening and the students sort of dispersing here. Let me see if I can find someone to get some reaction to what was going on. So, man, what's your reaction to what just happened?
I mean, as you can see, this is state-sponsored violence happening on a public university campus. Shame on our administration that failed to protect its students, and shame on the state to deploy these people against students who are peacefully protesting against their university and their institution's complicity in the ongoing genocide on the people of Gaza. What we saw here, all these people, all these men lined up and women, they are cowards. They are cowards, and they are proud of arresting students who are exercising their freedom to protest and assemble here. This is disgusting. Quite frankly, this is disgusting. People arrested violently, all their stuff stolen and thrown and treated with complete disregard. What we just saw here is a microcosm of the bigger problem. They don't want students standing up against genocide right now. And students across the entire nation, time and time again, have said repression will not stop them. The students who are here today were brave enough to put themselves on the line. Were brave enough to put themselves on the line, knowing that the state was going to deploy these people to hurt them, because they believe in what they're doing. What they did it out of conviction. And it was conviction that our universities must end their complicity in the ongoing genocide on the people of Gaza. It's been 7 months of genocide. 40,000 people are dead. And this is what we get for protesting it. This is what we get. Journalists thrown out of the way. I don't know what more I can say.
So where do you all go from here?
I'm sorry?
Obviously, where do you go from here? Obviously, they want you out of the way.
Well, I'll tell you this much. No matter the targeting, no matter the arrests, in the same way that we've seen across the country, the students will come back. The student movement is unshakable currently. The movement for Palestinian liberation is unshakable, right? This repression doesn't scare us. Arrest doesn't scare us. We'll be back and we'll be protesting and we'll continue to confront our institution for its complicity in the genocide until they divest from the weapons manufacturers that are killing our people.
Hey, Marvin.
Okay, so guys, obviously they don't know that we are in the middle
Marvin,
of a live
I'm wondering
shot
if you
here,
can
so
ask her a question. I'm wondering if you can ask her a question.
Okay.
Okay, they have to move, obviously. I was curious to see, and maybe this is something we can
No, I can ask.
I was wondering if they don't get their needs met, if they don't get their demands met, Marvin, what do they plan to do if this does not happen?
Okay, that's coming up.
You know, they were called because they said that you guys were illegally, setting up the encampment here. So what do you think?
And it looks like behind Marvin, like the officers there are reorganizing. It looks like they're filing into two different lines. Let's have.
We're going to continue to show up, and we're going to continue to fight the system. Listen, what we saw the students do here today was an act of bravery. The students today on Columbia campus, at UCLA, and on campuses all across the country and the world has shown us that students are going to continue to reject the complicity of their institutions in an an ongoing genocide. 7 months into a genocide, and our universities refuse to divest from the very corporations that are selling weapons to the Zionist entity to slaughter our people.
What effect does it have on the process?
Okay, we're going to take a break from you, back
Marvin,
to you guys, Ken and Nicole.
Yeah,
and,
Marvin, I'm sorry to interrupt you
Marvin.
because we're getting the video we're getting here from the chopper. At least if we can show that again from Chopper 11, if we can take that full, guys. Looks like they're leaving. The police officers look like they filed into two lines, and they're at least leaving that plaza area. Not sure if they're heading to a different part of campus, but they're gone, right?
Can you come back down to us?
Yeah.
Yeah, can you come back down to us live?
We can hear you.
They are walking away. This is all. Yeah, they are walking away. There are officers over here from the university, from DPS, and the huddle of officers that were standing there. It looks, I guess, mission complete. They're out of here. They're in front of me, straight down. I'm walking into them now. Excuse me. All right. Yeah, they're walking away. All of this is clear. The officer's headed in that direction, so that chopper is accurate, on point.
Yeah, and we can't tell from this vantage point, at least, if they're heading to a different part of campus, or if they're just going home, if they're just clearing the campus altogether.
Ken, when I first got here, I saw a number of vehicles parked down in this area, and it looks like they're all heading back to their cruisers, the vehicles that they rode over here in. You can see them now. Looks like they're getting inside of their vehicles. Meantime, of course, the participants, protesters, demonstrators, however you classify them, are stunned by the move that they saw here. But it looks like things are wrapping up here.
Yeah, and Marvin, from the helicopter from up above, we can see that a lot of these officers are already starting to take their helmets off and starting to take their gear off. And as you mentioned, walking back to their vehicles, to their cruisers, an indication that perhaps they're going to be leaving campus here.
Free Palestine, okay?
Okay. Yeah, I was sorry. I was stopped by one of the participants there. But yeah, I'm trying to give you a ground look. Here we are right here. Everybody is breaking down, and it looks like they're getting into their vehicles. We were able to walk down here, and there you see members of the sheriff's team there, taking off helmets, getting in the back of vehicles.
I wonder if you're able to ask them if they're leaving or if they're resetting. I don't know if they'll talk to you. They may not.
So are you guys done? Done? He gave me the swift no comment. I figured that was happening.
Sure, that's understandable.
Let me see if I could get. Yeah. But clearly we can see that they are moving out of this area. We don't know if they are moving to another. Sir, do you know if you're with University Police?
Go to the university.
Are they done?
Well, that's a sergeant, so if there's anyone who is authorized to talk there on the ground, it's going to be someone with a few stripes on their sleeves. He looked like he was a sergeant there, Marvin. But, we're asking the university as well.
Immediately I saw those signs.
And just so you know, we're trying to reach out to the university as well. We have made several attempts at just here on the air, just letting them know that we would love to talk to them and get clarification as to what is going on there. And so far, we still haven't heard anything back from them. I know that, Nicole, you've been looking at social media as well, trying to see if there's any kind of a posting. So
nothing official.
We're all just kind of reporting what we're seeing right now and what we're hearing there on the ground. So thank you very much for all of that, Marvin. Do you, I guess, we don't even know right at this point if there are any university administrators that are out there giving any kind of update on the ground, right?
No. I have not had the opportunity to get in, to get out and survey. I've been talking to the protesters, students, and of course, trying to, at last check, talk to the police.
I will say, Marvin, it feels immediately like the energy there deflated once law enforcement moved off campus. Is that how you're sensing it as well?
I do. As a matter of fact, I think you hit the nail on the head. It feels like, there was this huge energy in this balloon that was located down there, and as soon as law enforcement moved forward, it's just like somebody stuck a pin in it, and all of the air was let out. I think that is an accurate way to describe it. And then I guess the outcome of that was the woman that you heard speaking with us very passionately. They're very, very angry about what happened here. But obviously these, law enforcement officers had their marching orders. They came in, they did what they were going to do, and then now it looks as though they're leaving.